Yo, listen up, this ain't no ghost story, no tall tale. This is my story, Tupac Shakur. From the streets to the stage to, well, you know, they say legends never die, right? But legends ain't born legends. They forged in fire, tested by the storm. Like, share, and subscribe to Deadly Rhymes.
They called him a rebel, a poet, a prophet. But before the legend, there was a child named Lisanne Parrish Crooks, a child destined to ignite a revolution. Born in East Harlem, his roots ran deep in activism. His mother, Afeni Shakur, a Black Panther, instilled in him a fierce sense of justice.
Afeni Shakur. She was a significant member of the Black Panther Party in the late 1960s and early 1970s. She played an active role, including leadership within the Harlem and Bronx chapters. She was involved in various party activities and contributed to their newsletter. Notably, she was involved in the Panther 21 case, where she and other party members were charged with conspiracy. She famously defended herself in court and was acquitted.
Baltimore School for the Arts was where Lisanne found his voice. He embraced theater, Shakespeare, and the power of storytelling. It was here that he began to transform into Tupac Shakur. He learned to express his emotions, his anger, his dreams. Theater was his foundation, the stage where he first confronted the world.
Tupac's acting career, though relatively short, left a significant impact. He displayed a notable range and intensity in his performances. Here's a look at some of his key film roles. Juice, 1992. This film marked Tupac's breakout role. He played Roland Bishop, a troubled and increasingly volatile youth. His portrayal of Bishop's descent into darkness was particularly powerful and is often cited as one of his most memorable performances. Poetic Justice, 1993. In this film, Tupac co-starred with Janet Jackson. He played Lucky, a postal worker and aspiring poet. This role showcased a more sensitive side of Tupac, demonstrating his ability to portray romantic and emotional depth. Above the Rim, 1994. Here, he played Birdie, a local gangster. This role allowed him to portray a more streetwise and menacing character, further showcasing his versatility. Gridlocked, 1997. This film, released posthumously, saw Tupac playing a heroin addict trying to get clean. His performance was praised for its raw and realistic portrayal of addiction. Gang-Related, 1997. This was also released posthumously. He played a corrupt cop. Tupac's acting was characterized by a raw energy and authenticity that resonated with audiences. He brought a certain intensity to his roles, and many believe he had the potential for a very successful acting career.
Hollywood recognized his raw talent. Juice was a revelation, a portrayal of urban youth with unflinching honesty. Poetic Justice showed his vulnerability, his depth. He wasn't just acting, he was living these stories. His presence on screen was magnetic, a reflection of the struggles and triumphs of his generation. But it was his music that truly defined him. Tupacalypse Now ignited controversy, but it also sparked a dialogue. Me Against the World showcased his introspective side, his pain. Then came All Eyes on Me, an explosion of energy, a declaration of his dominance. He was a voice for the voiceless, a champion of the oppressed. His lyrics were raw, powerful, and often prophetic. He was a complex figure, a contradiction. He preached love and peace, yet he was embroiled in conflict. He was a poet and a thug, a revolutionary and a target. The media painted him as a villain, a symbol of violence. The East Coast/West Coast rivalry escalated, fueled by egos and misunderstandings. Tupac was caught in the crossfire.
In the early 90s, Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie Smalls, were more than just fellow rappers. They were friends, a brotherhood forged. In the New York hip-hop scene, Tupac, a charismatic force of nature, saw Biggie's raw talent and took him under his wing. Biggie, in turn, respected Tupac's experience and wisdom. But the harmony wouldn't last. A series of events, clouded in rumor and suspicion, would fracture their bond. In 1994, Tupac was shot in the lobby of a New York recording studio. He publicly accused Biggie and his producer, Puff Daddy, of involvement.
They set me up. They knew they were there.
I had nothing to do with it. I was in the studio.
The rift deepened, fueled by media sensationalism and the growing East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Tupac's move to Death Row Records and his increasingly aggressive lyrics further intensified the conflict. Hit 'Em Up was a declaration of war, a brutal public attack on Biggie and his crew.
He felt betrayed, targeted. His paranoia grew. His lyrics became darker, more confrontational.
The tragic feud between Biggie Smalls and Tupac cast a long shadow over hip-hop. Fueling the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, their conflict became a symbol of the genre's darkest period, sparking widespread debate about violence and media ethics within the music industry. The transformation of their friendship into a fatal antagonism left an indelible mark on music history. Tupac's animosity towards Bad Boy Records, and particularly Sean Combs, stemmed from his belief that they were involved in or had prior knowledge of his 1994 shooting in New York City. This beef arose after Mobb Deep, along with other New York artists, responded to the Dogg Pound's New York, New York with their own track, LA LA. Tupac took offense to this, leading to verbal exchanges. There was a period of tension between Tupac and Nas, though it is said that before Tupac's death that the two had started to reconcile. Tupac also had issues with Dr. Dre.
On September 7th, 1996, in Las Vegas, the world lost a legend. A drive-by shooting cut his life short, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. His death sparked outrage, grief, and countless conspiracy theories. But his music, his message, his spirit lived on. Tupac Shakur's legacy transcends music. He was a cultural icon, a symbol of resistance, a voice that continues to resonate with generations.
Six months later, Biggie was gunned down in Los Angeles. Two icons, once friends, lost to a tragic cycle of violence. Their story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict and the enduring what-ifs of a lost friendship.
He was a poet's revolution, a force that hip-hop and left an indelible mark on the world. His words, his art, his life will forever be a reminder that even in the face of adversity, one voice can make a difference.